Hey guys, welcome back to Pocket Saga, as you seen in title and thumbnail. In this video we are going to see, what if World Monarch Ash travel with Serena. This is part 1, and story is new so I will slowly updates parts as author update more. For more comment down your thoughts and like share, also don't forget to check out author of this story named, Ash and Serena, Amor shipping after the Masters 8 by Amor shipper Forever 17. All details in description. Back in Alto Mare, Bianca and Lorenzo were watching the championship battle against Leon on the television and watched as Charizard stumbled back and didn't get back up after that. And the winner and your new World Monarch is Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town, the announcer screamed into the microphone. We did it, Pikachu. We won, Ash said excitedly as Pikachu jumped into Ash's arms and hugged him close. The two watched as a young girl ran up to Ash and suddenly kissed him passionately on the lips. This came as a shock to Bianca and Lorenzo and they worried about how Latias would take the news that Ash had a mate. Over their time in Alto Mare, Bianca knew something was up with Latias when she first met him in the garden. She never took to anyone that quickly. I hope Latias will be alright after I tell her, Bianca thought to herself. They continued to watch the television screen. He won. He actually became the World Monarch, said Lorenzo. I'm so happy for him, said Bianca excitedly. You should go tell Latias, I'm sure she'll be thrilled to hear this news, said Lorenzo. Bianca nodded and walked to her front door. Back at the secret garden, Latias was in her human form and swinging on her swing with a sad expression on her face. Ash never even visited her or even came back Alto Mare since his last visit with Brock and Misty all those years ago. It made her heart break, and she longed to see him again, even if only for a week. Ever since Ash had left her behind to continue his journey. Ash, where are you? It's so lonely without you here. I can't take much more. Latias thought to herself as she hung her head low. Latias, Latias, Bianca said as she ran up to her dragoness friend excitedly. What is it, Bianca? Latias said with a sad smile. Ash just won the Masters 8 tournament, said Bianca happily. Then she noticed her friend's expression. You miss him, don't you? Bianca asked, already knowing what was on her friend's mind. I can't get him out of my head, said Latias. Don't worry about it too much, said Bianca. You want to go shopping for a while? Sure, said Latias. Let's go, Bianca. Back at Lorenzo's house, the old museum worker looked over at his phone and smiled as he got an idea. He went over to it and dialed a number. Back with Ash and his friends. After the party had ended, everyone minus Ash, Delia, Serena, Red, Clemont and Bonnie had left to continue their journeys. They were all relaxing in Delia's living room when she got a call on her phone. Excuse me, but I need to answer the phone. I'll be right back, said Delia as she excused herself and got up, leaving Ash to talk to his friends for a while. So Ash, what do you want to do now? Asked Clemont. I was thinking of taking a little vacation like I said before, and I think Alto Mare would be perfect, said Ash. That's a wonderful idea, I've always wanted to go there, said Serena. Excitedly as she pulled up the destination on her Rotom phone. I want to go, can we please, Clemont? Bonnie begged as she looked at Clemont hopefully. I'll need to ask Dad, but if he says yes then we can go, said Clemont. Ash, there's someone on the phone for you, Delia yelled. I wonder who's calling, said Ash as he got up from the couch. Clemont, Bonnie and Serena and Pikachu traded confused glances and followed him. Ash made it to the video phone. Hello Ash, it's been quite some time since we last met. How are you doing these days? Lorenzo asked with a kind smile. Hello Lorenzo, I've been great actually. I just won the Masters 8 tournament, Ash said excitedly. We are very happy for you, Lorenzo said with a smile. Thanks Lorenzo, Ash said happily. Are these your new friends? Asked Lorenzo as he noticed Ash's friends. Yeah, I traveled with Clemont, Bonnie and Serena in Kalos, said Ash. Hi, Lorenzo. My name's Bonnie and this is Dedenne, said Bonnie. Nay, said Dedenne. My name is Clemont. It's nice to meet you, said Clemont as he bowed politely. My name is Serena, it's nice to meet you, said Serena. It's very nice to meet you all, said Lorenzo happily. So how are things back at Alto Mare? Asked Ash. Things have been pretty peaceful since you last visited, Lorenzo said. That's good to hear, Ash said. So when were you thinking of coming over? Asked Lorenzo. I can check the boat times after this call, we should be there in a few days, said Ash. Great, Bianca and Latius will be so happy to see you, said Lorenzo. Don't tell them yet, I want it to be a surprise, said Ash. Will do Ash, I'll see you soon, Lorenzo said as he hung up the call. Well guys, we're going to Alto Mare, Ash said excitedly. Can we call back home first? Clemont asked. Go right ahead dear, said Delia said. Thanks very much, said Clemont. Ash, do you want to do some shopping while Clemont and Bonnie call their dad? Serena asked. Sure, said Ash. Guys, we're heading out. My mom's in charge, Ash said as he and Serena walked out the door. They walked in the direction of the lab first, which confused Serena. Pikachu hopped back onto his trainer's shoulder. Ash, why are we going to the lab? Asked Serena in a confused tone. Well, how else are we going to get to the store? Ash asked. Serena caught on and had a question. But what if I drop a bag? Serena asked. I'll ask Pidgeot to take it easy. You have nothing to worry about, said Ash reassuringly. Soon the two made it to the lab as they knocked on the door and the professor opened the door. Ah Ash my boy, what can I do for you? The professor asked. I came to get Pidgeot, can we go see my Pokemon? Ash asked. Go right ahead, the professor said. The two walked into the coral and saw Ash's flying Pokemon in the sky having a race it seemed. Pidgeot, can you come here for a moment? Ash yelled. Soon Ash's Pidgeot landed quickly in front of him, catching her decent with her wings. Hey Pidgeot, can you fly us to Celadon City please? Serena wants to do some shopping, Ash explained. Pidgeot nodded and allowed her trainer and Serena to hop on her back. She took flight and they were off. Later, the two had arrived in Celadon City as Ash and Serena looked down. You can take us down Pidgeot, said Ash. Pidgeot squawked and dove down to the ground below. She caught herself and landed gently on the ground and allowed Ash and Serena to get off her back. Thanks Pidgeot, Ash said as he stroked her chin. Serena stroked her wings. Thanks Pidgeot, said Serena. Pidgeot rubbed her beak against Ena's cheek affectionately and she got ready to take off. Stay close by, we shouldn't be long, Ash said. Pidgeot nodded and took off, almost throwing Ash, Pikachu and Serena off their feet. Shall we get going? Serena asked. Ash nodded and they walked inside the mall hand in hand. A half hour later, Ash and Serena were done shopping and were at the checkout counter. They waited as their items were scanned and placed in bags. Ash, is that you? A voice asked. Ash and Serena turned around to see a girl with short blue hair with cut bangs, brown eyes and was wearing a yellow kimono with a sash. She wore socks and sandals. Erica was kind of hard to describe because her design changes so much. Erica, it's so good to see you again, said Ash. Serena was confused as to how they knew each other. Hey Ash, congratulations on winning the Masters 8, Erica said. So how's the gym? Asked Ash. It's going great. And who might you be? Asked Erica, as she noticed Serena. Hi, my name is Sarah. Nah, said Serena as she and Erica shook hands. So what are you doing here? Asked Erica. We're doing some shopping, we're going to Alto Mare for vacation, explained Serena. That's great, I hope you Avenue a wonderful time, said Erica as she waved goodbye. The two checked out their items and exited the store. Ash whistled for Pidgeot and she landed within seconds. We're ready to go back to Pallet Town, can you get us there safely? We've just got done shopping, Serena said. Pidgeot nodded and allowed Ash and Serena to climb on her back as she took flight, though careful not to drop the bags they were carrying. Back in Pallet Town. Thanks Pidgeot, Ash said as he got off from his Pokemon's back. She squawked in thanks and nuzzled Ash's head affectionately. Thanks Pidgeot, Serena said. Pidgeot nodded before taking off to the lab. The two went back inside the house to see Delia and Clemont making dinner. Hello, hi, Pika, Ash, Serena and Pikachu said as they entered the front door. Welcome back you two. How was your shopping trip? Asked Delia. It was awesome, said Ash. So did you talk to your dad back home? Asked Serena. We did, he said he's fine with us going to Alto Mare with you guys. Clembot is in charge of running the gym in my brother's absence, said Bonnie happily. Who's Clembot? Dahlia asked curiously. He's my brother's stand-in for challengers at the gym, started Bonnie. I wanted to have more time with inventing and I never got any time because of the challengers that would come to challenge me, so I built a robot gym leader to battle in my place, Clemont explained. That's so cool, Dahlia said in amazement. Then she looked at Serena. Hey Serena, do you want to make poke puffs for dessert? Dahlia asked. Sure, I'd love to, Serena said happily. Yippee yay, Bonnie cheered. Dinner time. Dahlia made spaghetti for dinner along with Serena's poke puffs and everyone ate their food while talking. Stories and laughs were had and the food was plentiful and wonderful. After they got done eating, they did the dishes before they decided to watch television for the rest of the night. Night time. The sky turned dark as the moon and stars shined brightly and elegantly in the sky. Everyone was getting ready for bed. Bonnie and Clemont took the spare bedroom and Ash and Serena slept in Ash's room. Delia was fine with it and caused Serena to blush bright red. Serena stepped out of the shower and dried off and got ready for bed. She climbed into Ash's bed and smiled at him. Good night my future Pokemon master, said Serena. Good night my future Kalos queen, Ash said. Serena snuggled closer to Ash as the two fell asleep in each other's warm embrace. Back in Alto Mare, Latias was laying on her bed of leaves and was about to drift off to sleep when she thought of one more thing before she shut her eyes. Unaware that Ash was thinking the same thing she was at that time. I can't wait to see you again, Ash and Latias thought. The next day, morning came and the smell of breakfast wafted through the air and it woke up Clemont and Bonnie with ease, but Ash and Serena hadn't woke up yet. Can one of you check on Ash and Serena please? Dahlia asked. I will, said Bonnie as she got up from the couch and ran excitedly upstairs to Ash's room. She quietly tiptoed over to Ash's bedroom and knocked gently on the door. Is it time to get up for our trip? Asked Serena as she slowly opened her eyes. She was confused at first when she noticed that she was sleeping next to Ash, then she remembered where she was and blushed. Ashy Tilda, it's time to wake up Tilda, said Serena gently into her boyfriend's ear. Serena planted a gentle kiss on Ash's cheek and he slowly opened his eyes. Ash said as he yawned. It's time to wake up, we don't want to be late for our trip to Alto Mare, Serena said. The World Monarch rubbed the sleep from his eyes and yawned again. Oh that's right, I'll get dressed and shower while you walk downstairs, Ash said as he opened the door to the hallway and went into the bathroom to freshen up. Sounds good, said Serena as she walked downstairs with Pikachu in tow. Ash stepped into the bathroom and took his shower and did his morning routine. Aw Serena and Pikachu. Good morning. I see you managed to get Ash up. Thanks for doing that, Ash's mother said. It was no trouble at all Mrs. Ketchum, said Serena. So my boy is finally awake. He can sleep through the world ending, said Red jokingly. Everyone had a laugh at that. Soon they could hear the bathroom door opening and Ash walked downstairs. Good morning sweetie, said Dahlia. Morning mom, Ash said as he sat next to his girlfriend at the kitchen table. How was your sleep? Asked Dahlia. It was wonderful, it was one of the best sleeps I ever had, said Ash. Only the best? Bonnie asked cheekily as she noticed Serena blush at the question. Her brother kicked his sister's leg from under the table. Eat up everyone, I made plenty to go around, said Dahlia. After breakfast. Thanks for breakfast Mrs. Ketchum, said Clemont. It was nothing at all, said Dahlia. They walked out of the front door and stood outside. Can we stop at the professor's lab? I want to bring a few Pokemon with me, said Ash. We don't mind, said Clemont. Go right ahead, said Serena. Great, thanks guys, said Ash. They walked in the direction of the professor's lab and knocked on the door. Hello Ash, what can I do for you? The professor asked. I'd like to take some of my Pokemon with me to Alto Mare, said Ash. Go right ahead, the professor said. Ash and the others walked inside the lab and out to the ranch where Ash's Pokemon resided. Walking outside, the group noticed no one was present, then Ash noticed his Bulbasaur. Hey buddy, Ash said, his grass poison type's eyes sparkled as he ran over and jumped into his trainer's arms. Bulbasaur said. Hello Ash. Good morning Bulbasaur, can you call my other Pokemon over? Ash asked. Bulbasaur nodded. He walked a few feet away from Ash and began charging a multicolored solar beam. What's Bulbasaur doing? Bonnie asked. You'll see, said the professor. Bulbasaur finished charging the solar beam and fired it into the sky. The group watched it soar in the sky. It's so pretty, Bonnie squeaked. Wow, Serena said. I've never seen a solar beam like that before, Clemont said in awe. Bulbasaur can fire different color solar beams to call for a specific Pokémon type that Ash requires. Bulbasaur can fire a rainbow solar beam to call all of Ash's Pokémon all at once, Oak explained. That's really fascinating, Clemont said as he fixed his glasses. Soon they felt the ground shake. What's going on? Clemont asked. Is it an earthquake? Serena asked worriedly. No, it's worse. It's Ash's Pokémon, Professor Oak said. They all noticed the dust cloud getting closer until Ash felt the wind knocked out of him as his Pokémon all glomped him at once. It took him a while, but he finally managed to unravel himself from his predicament. Ash, are you all right? Ash's girlfriend asked, concerned as she helped him up. Yeah, I'm fine. I have an announcement to make. I need everyone to line up, Ash said, all of his Pokémon organized themselves from biggest in the back and smallest in the front. I would like to announce that I'm taking a small vacation in Alto Mare. I'd like to take a few of you with me. If I call on you, step forward, said Ash. His Pokémon cheered excitedly. All right, Houndoom, Larvitar, Greninja, Pidgeot, and Infernape, you're coming with me to Alto Mare, Ash said. Houndoom tackled Ash to the ground and began to lick his face excitedly. His Pokémon all laughed. Ha ha ha, I love you too, but can you let me get up? Ash asked. The dark fire type stopped his affectionate assault and let his trainer get up. Ash wiped the saliva off his face and watched as the others stepped up. Your Houndoom is such a cutie pie, Bonnie squeaked as Houndoom licked her cheek affectionately, making her laugh as she hugged him. Here are their Pokeballs, Ash, the professor said as he handed him their Pokeballs. Thanks, Professor, return for now, Ash said as he returned his Pokémon. Pikachu hopped back onto Ash's shoulder. It's no trouble, Ash. Have a great vacation, Professor Oak said. Thanks, Professor, Ash said. We should be getting down to Vermilion City to board the ship. You don't want to be late for your trip, right? Red asked. Yeah, but how are we going to make it in time? Clemont said. Let's just say Ash wasn't the only one who saw legendary Pokémon during his journey, said Red as he pulled out a Pokeball and released a Pokémon Ash was more than familiar with. Hello again, Master, is there something you need? Red's Mewtwo asked. Yes, but first, these are my son's friends. They need a lift to Vermilion City, said Red. It's nice to meet all of you. It would be my pleasure, said Mewtwo with a smile as they all began to glow brightly, and after a few seconds they vanished. Vermilion City. The gang arrived into Viridian City and looked at the massive ship in front of them. Red handed them their tickets. Thank you, sir, Clemont said. Don't mention it, anything for my son and his furry. NDS, Red said as he handed them their tickets. Dad, how did you get these? Asked Ash. I went out yesterday after the party and purchased them. I think it's a wonderful idea that you want to take a VA. Catayonsa, I decided to help you out, Red said. Thanks, Dad, thanks a lot, Ash said. Anytime, son, now go enjoy your vacation, said Ash's father, and he waved them off before the two teleported away. Come on, let's get on board, said Ash. The four of them nodded and got on the boat. Wow, said Bonnie in amazement. Let's go check into our rooms and then look around for a bit, Serena suggested. Sounds good to me, said Ash. The four went to check into their rooms and got their room keys. Ash had one, he gave it to Serena, and Clemont and Bonnie had their own key. Their rooms were right across from each other, so they didn't need to walk far. Wow, said Serena as she looked at their room. I know, these rooms are really big, said Ash. Any particular reason? Serena asked. I think it's to attract tourists. They need to look their best so people will want to stay, said Ash. That's cool, said Serena. I don't know, I never paid attention to these things when I traveled through Kanto. Brock was the knowledgeable one, said Ash. Brock was really cool. I'm glad you got to travel with some amazing people, said Serena. Then Ash's stomach growled audibly. Ash's girlfriend giggled in amusement. I'm guessing you're hungry. I admit I'm feeling hungry too, said Serena. Let's get something to eat then, said Ash. The two sat their backpacks on the couch and walked outside of their room. Come on, Pikachu, Ash said. Pika, Ash's #1 partner said as he jumped onto his trainer's shoulder. Let's go then, Ash said. Then he noticed Clemont and Bonnie out of their room as well. Let's all get me lunch and explore the ship, Clemont said. That's exactly what I was thinking, said Serena. Let's go everyone, the food won't eat itself, Ash said. He started running and the others joined him. Wait for me, Bonnie said. Guys, don't run so fast, Clemont heaved as he ran at his usual pace, which wasn't much. The gang made it to the cafeteria and saw a lot of food stalls, from Kalo's cuisine to hamburgers and hot dogs, to Kanto foods and many more. It all made Ash's mouth water. Come on, let's get some food, I'm starving, Ash said. Same old Ash, let's go, Clemont said. The two girls nodded that thought and went after the raven-haired trainer. Soon everyone got their food and sat at a nearby table. Come on out everyone, Ash said, throwing his Pokeballs in the air. His Pokemon materialized and looked around, curious and confused at where they were. You all too, Serena and Clemont said, releasing their Pokemon too. Hey guys, we're on our ship to Alto Mare and we're having lunch, Ash said as all the Pokemon cheered. Serena and Clemont grabbed their food in some bowls and began to feed the Pokemon. Ash and the others went to a food stall and ordered their food. Bonnie and Clemont got some Kalo's style food, while Serena went with a salad, and Ash went and grabbed a burger and fries with extra ketchup. Man, I can't believe we're finally going back to Alto Mare. It feels like ages since then, huh Pikachu? Ash asked as he took a bite of his burger. Pikachu looked from his bowl and nodded. So Ash, what was it like to visit Alto Mare? Asked Serena curiously. I'll tell you what I can. I can't tell you too much, Ash began. So he began his tale about when he, Misty and Brock visited for the first time to meeting Lorenzo and Bianca, or Ash thought it was her at the time, for the first time. The tour to Alto Mare races and a few other things. That sounds really cool, Ash. I bet you're super excited about going back again, said Bonnie excitedly. I sure am, said Ash happily. Pikachu cheered happily. Look here guys. It says that 2 Pokemon are said to be the protectors of Alto Mare, Serena said as she pulled up the destination on her Rotom phone. Which ones? Bonnie asked curiously. A Latios and a Latios, Serena said. Bonnie looked at the picture on the screen and she squeaked excitedly. They're so cute, Bonnie squeaked in excitement, out of the corner of her eyes. Serena thought she saw Ash flinch at the mention of the 2 legendary Pokemon and frowned concernedly. Ash, are you alright? Clemont asked worriedly. I'll need a moment, I'll be in our room if you need me, said Ash. He quietly got up and went back to his room. Pikachu said sadly as his ears drooped in concern. Gee, I wonder what got to Ash. Normally he gets excited at the mere ment. Ion of legendary Pokemon, Clemont said as he adjusted his glasses. Serena, why don't you go check on him? We'll stay out of the way, Clemont said. But brother, Bonnie was about to protest when Clemont put his hand on her shoulder. Let her do this. If anyone can get to Ash, it's Serena, said Clemont. The two watched Serena walk away and back to their room. Let's get some to-go boxes and head back to our room for now, said Clemont. Okay big brother, I'll help you return the Pokemon, Bonnie said. I'm sorry everyone, Clemont said. The Pokemon understood before they were all returned to their Pokeballs. Back in Ash and Serena's room. Serena walked in quietly and noticed the door to Serena's room was closed and sobbing could be heard and guessed it was Ash. Ash, can I come in? Serena asked. It's open, said Ash. He watched as the knob was turned slowly and Serena walked in. What's wrong? Normally you would be excited to see legendary Pokemon, let alone 2. But when we were talking you looked sad, Serena explained. When Ash didn't speak she took his hand in hers. Ash, talk to me, I don't like seeing you hurt, Serena said. She sounded close to crying too as she gripped Ash's hands tighter. I tried to save him. I really did, Ash sobbed. Save who? Serena asked gently. Latios, Ash said. Serena gasped a bit. What happened? You can tell me, if you want, Serena said gently. Ash sighed, running a hand through his hair. I'm just thinking about some old times. He paused, looking out at the sunset. There was this one time in Alto Mare. With the Latios and Latios. Yeah, Ash said, a touch of sadness entering his voice. Latios was amazing, always playing tricks and blending in with people. She even looked like Bianca, the girl we met there. But Latios, he continued, his voice growing quieter. He was different, more reserved, but fiercely protective of the city, and Latios. What happened? Serena asked, placing a hand on his arm, sensing the weight of his words. There were these two spies. Annie and Oakley, from Team Rocket, Ash explained, a hint of anger in his voice. They wanted to steal the Soul Dew, the city's protector, and control this ancient machine called the defense mechanism of Alto Mare. He looked away, his gaze falling to the ground. They used Latios to power it, and they were draining his energy. He was so weak, but he still fought back. Serena squeezed his hand, her expression solemn. That's terrible, Ash. We tried to stop them, Ash said, his voice laced with the memory of the struggle. But the defense mechanism went out of control. It caused this huge tsunami to come crashing into the city. He took a deep breath, and his voice trembled slightly as he spoke again. Latios, he knew what he had to do. He flew right into that wave, using all his power to stop it. Latios was with him, helping him, but he was too injured already. Serena gasped, tears welling in her eyes. He sacrificed himself. Ash nodded, his voice thick with emotion. Yeah, he stopped the tsunami, but he was gone. He became the new Soul Dew. Silence fell between them, broken only by Serena's quiet sniffles. Ash looked at her, then offered a small, sad smile. It's okay, Serena. He saved everyone. He was a hero. Serena wiped her eyes. It's just so sad, Ash. To lose someone like that. He'll always be a part of Alto Mare, a part of the city he protected. Ash said softly. He looked at Serena, a hint of warmth returning to his eyes. And we'll always remember him, and the lesson he taught about courage and sacrifice. Wow, that's quite the story. Thank you for telling me, and I'm sorry that happened, said Serena. Don't be, Ash said. Do you want to finish your food? I can get it from Clemont and warm it up for you, Serena said. I'd like that, said Ash. Serena smiled and kissed his cheek and got up, but he stopped her. Serena, Ash asked. Yeah, don't tell Clemont and Bonnie yet. Wait until we're with Bianca and her grandfather, Ash said. Sure, said Serena as she smiled. She walked out of the room and came back a few seconds later with a to-go box and Pikachu on her shoulder. Pika Pie? Pikachu asked concernedly. I'm fine now, buddy, Ash said. The two walked over to the living room area and sat on the couch to watch television. You want Sylveon to spend time with you? Serena asked. Pikachu blushed and nodded. All right then, Pikachu. Sylveon, come on out, said Serena as she released her intertwining Pokémon. When Sylveon was released, she looked around before her baby blue eyes landed on the electric mouse. Pikachu blushed as she pranced over to him and gently nuzzled his cheek with hers, and they began to play nearby. That's cute, Ash said. It sure is, Serena said. Do you want the rest of your food now? Asked Serena. Sure, Ash said. She smiled as she put Ash's food on a plate and put it in the microwave. After a minute the microwave dinged. She took out the plate and put it on a table. Here you go, Ash. Eat up, Serena said as Ash walked over and she kissed his cheek. Thanks, Serena, you're the best, Ash said as he sat down to eat his lunch. After he ate his food he threw the box away and joined Serena on the couch as they snuggled on the couch and watched television. Serena buried her head into her boyfriend's chest as she sighed contentedly. Ash wrapped an arm around her and held her close. Unknown to either of them, the two fell asleep. The breathing from Ash's diaphragm moving up and down coaxed Serena into a dreamful sleep. A few hours later. Knock knock knock. Ash, Serena, you awake? We're about to get dinner. You want to come along? Clemont said from behind the door. The sound of food hit Ash's ears and he opened his eyes and squinted to let them adjust. Once he did, he saw his girlfriend sleeping soundly with her arms wrapped around him. He gently stroked her hair and gently whispered, Serena, wake up. Clemont wants to go out for dinner, Ash gently whispered. 5 meters. Or minutes, Serena said tiredly as she nuzzled into Ash's chest. Come on, I'm hungry, said Ash. To prove the raven-haired trainer's point, his stomach let out a loud growl of protest. Serena fluttered her eyes open and looked at Ash. Good afternoon, Ash said causally. Good afternoon, sweetie, said Serena. She got up from her position on the couch and yawned loudly while stretching her arms. Clemont wants to go out to eat. Let's not keep him waiting, said Ash. Right, Serena said as she got up followed by Ash. Outside the room, the two walked to one of the many food courts and ordered their food. While Clemont got all their Pokemon's food bowls out for everyone. Come on out everyone, Ash said. Throwing his Pokeballs in the air, releasing his current team. You too, Clemont and Serena said. As the two threw their Pokeballs and out came Clement's Chespin, Bunnelby and Luxray, while Serena released her Delphox, Milotic, Sylveon, Absol and Pancham. Eat up everyone, Ash said as all their Pokemon ate their food. Pikachu, can you watch our stuff while we going to place our orders? Ash asked. Pika Pika, Pikachu said, raising an arm in affirmative. Great, be right back buddy, Ash said. After a few minutes everyone returned with their order. We're back buddy, thanks a lot. Here is your food, Ash said passing a small box to Pikachu. He opened it to reveal a junior cheeseburger with extra ketchup. Chaw, Pikachu said as his eyes sparkled and he dug into his meal. The others laughed as they all dug into their food. They all ate their food while occasionally talking about their trip ahead and what they'll do when they arrive at their destination. I'm sorry I left so abruptly, Ash said. It's fine Ash, you were going through something sensitive and we didn't want to get in the way and make things worse, Clemont said. Don't feel bad about what happened, it's all in the past so let's move forward into the future. And now that you're going back you can make new memories, same for us. We've never been there and we cannot wait until we arrive, Serena said gently. Okay, you're right, thank you Serena, Ash said. No matter what happens we will always be by your side until the end, Serena said gently. Thank you everyone, you're the best, Ash said. We're like a family, Clemont and I will always be by your and Serena's side, Bonnie said. They continued to enjoy their food and talked about what lies ahead. Later that night, Ash and Serena were in the living room of their room watching television. Serena was snuggling in her boyfriend's warm and strong arms. I love you Ash, said Serena. I love you too. You're the greatest thing that ever happened to me, I'm glad I saved you back then, said Ash. Serena blushed crimson as she giggled. Then I guess it was a good thing at Poliwag scared me or else we would have never met, Serena said with a giggle. Or that we never traveled to Kalos, but I'm glad you're with me, said Ash. Then I guess it was fate that news repo. RT about the raging Garchomp aired on the news, Serena said. Yeah, I guess it was, said Ash. Then Ash made a big yawn and Serena yawned after. The two checked the time, it read 10:45 at night. We should get ready for bed, Serena said. That's good, I'm getting tired, Ash said as he let out a yawn. The two went to Serena's room and got ready for bed. She got dressed in her pajamas while Ash put on some sweatpants and decided to go to bed without a shirt as always. The two crawled into bed and smiled. I love you Serena, Ash said. I love you too, Serena whispered as she nuzzled into Ash's chest and the two fell asleep. The next day, the gang was asleep until the sun broke through the windows of their room and roused Ash and Serena from their slumber. Morning already, said Ash with a groan. 5 more minutes, said Serena as she nuzzled more into Ash's neck, still a bit drowsy. Ash slowly opened his eyes to see his girlfriend still asleep in his arms. He smiled and gently stroked her hair. Serena slowly opened her eyes and looked into her boyfriend's chocolate brown eyes. Good morning, said Ash in a gentle voice. Good morning sweetie, Serena said as she raised her head and gently kissed Ash on the lips before the two separated. The two got up and stretched their arms. Pikachu pie. Good morning Ash and Serena, said Pikachu happily, brimming with renewed energy. Hey buddy, sleep good? Asked Ash. His number one partner nodded. So did you sleep well? I thought you and Sylveon looked adorable together last night, but I have to ask, when will you tie the knot? Ash asked. When Pikachu blushed furiously he knew he got him right where he wanted. Pikachu didn't speak. Ash smirked in triumph and scratched behind Pikachu's ears. Pikachu cooed in delight. Why don't we get dressed and go have breakfast with Clemont and Bonnie? Serena suggested sweetly as she looked at the time on her Rotom phone. Sounds good to me, said Ash. He and Serena got dressed and brushed their teeth before they stepped out of their room to see Clemont and Bonnie already waiting for them. Ready to go? Clemont asked. You betcha, breakfast here I come, said Ash as everyone laughed. Everyone made their way to the dining part of the ship and grabbed their Pokeballs. Come on out everyone, Clemont, Serena and Ash said as they threw their Pokeballs in the air, and out came their Pokemon. Immediately Houndoom tackled his trainer and began to affectionately lick all over Ash's face. Ha 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 ha, stop it Houndoom, that tickles, said Ash. Everyone all laughed as Houndoom go tee off of his trainer and allowed him to stand. Ash wiped off the saliva and stood up. Well everyone, let's go place our orders and find a table, said Ash. Bonnie, would you and Clemont feed the Pokemon? Serena asked sweetly. I would love to, Bonnie said cheerfully. She and her brother got their food bowls out of their bags and began to distribute the Pokemon food to their Pokemon as they crowded around and began to eat their food. Soon everyone went and got their food. After they got their food they sat down together at a nearby table with their Pokemon eating alongside their trainers. So, what do we all want to do when we get to Alto Mare? Ash asked. I want to do some shopping at the stores there. I'm sure I'll find something for my upcoming contests, Serena exclaimed happily. I can't wait to catch up with Bianca and Lorenzo. I wonder how they're doing since my first visit, Ash said, his voice getting quieter at that last part. I'd love to tour around the city. I want to see what it's like, Clemont said as he took a bite of his ham and cheese omelet. We'll have plenty of time to explore when we get there, said Ash. Then his mind began to drift over to Latias and what she could be doing now. I wonder what Latias has been up to since I left, Ash thought to himself. After breakfast, the group finished eating breakfast and were about to go to their rooms to spend the day together when a sudden voice caught their attention. Well, I didn't expect to see you here, Ketchum, said a voice. Ash and the others turned around and his eyes widened. Paul. Ash gawked. He noticed Electivire was out of his ball too. Been a long time hasn't it? Paul asked. What are you even doing here? Ash asked curiously. I needed a break from training so I decided to take a small vacation. But I never thought I would see you here too, said Paul. The gang nodded. I was wondering something, do you want to have a battle? Paul asked. Ash grinned. You bet, Ash said excitedly. How's a 6 versus 6 sound to you? Paul asked. Sounds good to me, said Ash. The two went to a field located on the ship and stood on opposite sides. Great, I won't lose, Paul said. Bring it on Paul, said Ash. Ash vs Paul, 6 vs 6. Insert Pokemon DP Gym Leader Battle Remix by GlitchX City. The deck of the luxury liner SS Anne, gently swaying with the ocean's rhythm, became the unexpected battle gr. Ound for Ash and Paul's latest confrontation. Sea spray misted the air as the two trainers took their positions. All right, Pikachu, I choose you, Ash exclaimed, his partner hopping onto the polished deck. Paul, ever composed, yelled. Aggron, show them the meaning of power. The formidable steel and rock-type Pokemon materialized, its imposing presence amplified against the open sky. Use Thunderbolt, Ash yelled. Pikachu, with a burst of electric energy, launched a quick Thunderbolt, crackling against Aggron's armored hide. Iron Defense, go, Paul yelled. Aggron retaliated with a mighty Iron Defense, shrugging off the attack. Use Quick Attack to dodge. Pikachu used a swift Quick Attack to dodge Aggron's subsequent heavy slam. Use Electro Ball followed by Iron Tail, the electric sphere connected, sending tremors through Aggron's metallic form. Finally, after a well-aimed Iron Tail, Aggron was unable to continue the battle. Aggron is unable to battle. Pikachu wins. The referee Anno unced over the gentle lapping of waves against the ship's hull. Paul returned his Aggron, a slight frown touching his lips. HMPH, a good start, but it won't last. Garchomp, let's go. The powerful drive. Agon and ground-type soared into the air above the deck, its sharp claws extended menacingly. Pikachu, great job. You earned a rest. Ash then gently picked up his starter and carried Pikachu back to the sidelines and grabbed Greninja's Pokeball. Greninja, let's go, Ash yelled as his Ninja Frog Pokemon materialized onto the field. Let's win this. The familiar blue shroud of the Ash Greninja form enveloped Greninja, radiating power. Ash Greninja moved with speed, facing Garchomp. Wait Shuriken, Ash yelled, mirroring Greninja's movements as he reached for the shuriken on his back. Use Dragon C. Law. Garchomp tried to score a few good hits, but Greninja unleashed a flurry of water shurikens. Garchomp attempted a Dragon Rush, but Ash Greninja countered with a swift Night Slash, followed by an aerial ace. With one final water shuriken, Greninja delivered the knockout blow. Garchomp is unable to battle. Ash Greninja wins. The referee declared. Paul's expression hardened and sent out Metagross. Metagross, go, said Paul as he sent out his Iron Leg Pokémon. Greninja vs Metagross, begin. Clemont yelled. All right Greninja, use Night Slash, Ash yelled, copying his Greninja's movements. Right Ash, Greninja said. Ash Greninja attacked, but Metagross proved a strong opponent. Its defenses were strong, shrugging off Greninja's water shurikens. Metagross countered with psychic attacks, weakening Greninja. A well-placed Meteor Mash landed, inflicting heavy damage. Arg, Ash said as he clutched his upper body. Pikachu said concernedly. I'm fine buddy. Ash returned his Greninja and chose Houndoom. Houndoom, with his fiery speed and type advantage, was effective against Metagross. He dodged Metagross's attacks and landed several powerful Fire Fangs and Flamethrowers. These attacks wore down Metagross's defenses. Metagross fought back with Zen Headbutt and Meteor Mash, but Houndoom's relentless assault eventually overwhelmed the Steel Pokémon. After a final Flamethrower, Metagross succumbed. Metagross is unable to battle. Houndoom wins. Clemont announced. Gyarados, go. Paul sent out Gyarados. Larvitar, I choose you. Ash chose Larvitar. Use Stone Edge, Ash yelled. Gyarados, use Hydro Pump, Paul countered. The battle between Gyarados and Larvitar was a testament to courage. Larvitar launched Stone Edge attacks. Gyarados retaliated with Hydro Pump and Dragon Rage. Larvitar, fueled by its spirit, dodged and countered. After a struggle, Larvitar unleashed a rock slide that struck Gyarados. The water Pokémon roared before succumbing to the damage. As Gyarados fell, Larvitar began to evolve into Pupitar. Gyarados is unable to battle. Larvitar, now Pupitar, wins. Clemont yelled. Way to go Larvitar, you evolved. I'm so proud of you. Return, Ash said. You did great, take a rest. Infernape, I choose you, Ash chose Infernape. Electivire, stand by for battle, Paul chose Electivire as he threw the Pokeball in the air. Infernape and Electivire clashed. Ivire's Thunder Punches were met with Infernape's Blaze Kicks and Flare Blitzes. The battle was even for a time, but Electivire's electric attacks began to wear down Infernape. Infernape activated its Blaze ability, boosting its Fire-type moves. Flare Blitz one more time, let's finish this, Infernape cried out and unleashed a supercharged Flare Blitz that defeated Electivire. Electivire is unable to battle. Infernape wins. The winner of the battle is Ash Ketchum. Clemont declared as he raised an arm in Ash's direction. Battle ends. We did it Infernape, Ash said excitedly. Ash saw Infernape. He helped Electivire back on his feet as they shared a fist bump before Paul returned his Pokémon after sharing a few words of kindness. Infernape went back to Ash and placed a hand on his shoulder before the two hugged. The Fire Monkey Pokémon gave his trainer a thumbs up and a wink before he returned himself to his Pokeball. I wonder what that was about. Ash asked himself. He didn't have long to think about it before he felt his girlfriend wrap her arms around his waist. I think he was saying he knows about us, silly boy, said Serena as she giggled. That was an amazing battle, Clemont said in amazement. I've never seen a blaze like that, Bonnie squeaked. Infernape is super cool, I'll give him that, said Ash. Thanks for the battle, Ketchum. That was an amazing match, said Paul with a smile. Thanks Paul, Ash said as the two shook hands. He didn't say anything immediately, simply observing. He'd witnessed Ash's interactions with various traveling companions, and none had been quite like this. There was a certain softness in Ash's expression, a willingness to engage that Paul rarely saw directed at anyone outside of a Pokémon battle, or perhaps a close friend like Brock. Finally, Paul walked over. His usual curt tone only slightly softened. Ash, he began, causing both Ash and Serena to turn towards him. Who is this? He asked, gesturing vaguely towards Serena. Serena offered a small bow. I'm Serena. A Pokemon performer and Ash's girlfriend, she introduced herself. Paul stared at her, then at Ash, surprised. Performer and your girlfriend, huh? He muttered, seemingly unimpressed. Then, his gaze returned to Ash. What exactly is your relationship with her? He questioned, his voice lacking its usual bite, replaced by a rare hint of genuine curiosity. Paul was known to be quite perceptive, so it was likely he had picked up on something beyond mere friendship. Ash stammered a bit. Well, she's a really good friend. We just got together after I beat Leon. We first met when we were kids. I wouldn't have gotten as far in the Kalos League if it wasn't for her. He rubbed the back of his neck, a faint blush creeping onto his cheeks. Serena chuckled softly. He's a little dense about these things, she explained to Paul, a hint of affectionate exasperation in her voice. But he knows I'm always here for him, whatever he needs. Paul's eyes darted between the two of them. He wasn't used to this kind of dynamic, this open display of affection and support that wasn't solely focused on battling. He'd always seen such things as distractions, weaknesses even. Yet, observing Ash, he couldn't deny that it seemed to be working for him. A slow smirk spread across Paul's face. Pathetic, he mumbled, but this time, the word lacked its usual venom. It was more of an observation. A comment on the situation rather than an insult directed at Ash. Still relying on others. Then, he added, but if it helps you focus, then perhaps it's not entirely useless. This showed a hint of his evolving perspective, acknowledging that there might be more than one path to strength. Paul, do you want to stay with us? Serena asked. Sure, I can't stay for long though, said Paul. The gang all went back to Ash and Serena's room to chill for the rest of the day. Walking inside the room, Ash and Serena shared the small group sat around the television. Anyone want some tea? I can also make poke puffs if anyone wants, Serena said. Sure, Paul said. He turned to Ash with a few questions. So tell me about your Greninja, what was that form it was in? Paul asked, curious. It's called Bond Phenomenon. Back then it was Ash Greninja before we even knew what it was, said Clemont. Interesting, said Paul. Here's your tea, Paul, Serena said as she handed him a cup of tea. Paul nodded and accepted it without a word. Clemont and Bonnie sat down on the couch and got comfortable. So Ash, how do you know Paul? Clemont asked. We met in Sinnoh and back then we were at each other's throats because of how we trained our Pokemon. He valued strength and power while I valued trust, care and friendship. Ash began. He took out Infernape's Pokeball and released him. Infernape, being careful with his head flames, sat next to Ash and put a hand on his trainer's shoulder with a wide smile. Paul abused Infernape when he was just a Chimchar back then. We entered a tag tournament and the prize was a pair of Soothe Bells. We both won but he tossed the other one to me. We kept meeting each other and battled one another every time we met. Naturally I always lost and Paul would always insult me, Ash said. He did? Clemont and Bonnie asked. They looked at Serena to see she was getting a bit bothered but she kept it together. Ash nodded. We first met when my furry NDS Brock and Don saw Paul catch a Starly and I challenged him to a battle. He used his Chimchar and I used my newly caught Starly. Chimchar didn't win and Paul said some harsh words and he made a dismissive comment about my battling style and since then I strived to beat him every chance we met but he always beat me no matter what I tried, Ash said. He eventually grew tired of Infernape when he was still a Chimchar and released him. Fed up with the fact he couldn't win a single battle for Paul, he crushed the ball under his heel and effectively making Chimchar a wild Pokemon, Ash explained. He looked around to see his friends with differing emotions. Bonnie was crying and Clemont glared at Paul with daggers in his eyes. But nothing compared to what Serena was feeling, despite what he said about Paul. Serena wasn't liking this guy one bit and was regretting inviting him over to their room. Serena felt pure anger. Despite her strong, soft and caring disposition, she was feeling pure untethered anger. The honey blonde girl went over to Paul and raised her hand to hit him but Ash was faster and caught her hand. Serena, stop, Ash said. If Ash knew one saying it was hath no fury like a woman scorned. And he couldn't allow Serena to do what she was going to do. But as MMMPH, Serena began but was caught by Ash spinning her around to face him before he suddenly kidded her on the lips. Effectively stopping whatever she had planned. She instinctively closed her eyes and relaxed into the kiss, and the two shared a moment before they let go. Serena, I've learned to forgive Paul and Evie. And Infernape forgave him when we trained for the Masters 8 tournament. Don't be mad at him for something that happened in the past. Paul isn't like how he was back in Sinnoh, and if I can forgive him then so can you, Ash said. Serena was stunned, but nevertheless she couldn't help but smile. You're right, Serena said. He is, Paul said. Serena turned to the purple-haired trainer. I'm not like I was when I was in Sinnoh. After Ash beat me, it showed that my philosophy was all wrong and that I was wrong to treat my Pokémon the way I was. Ash taught me that being a trainer means showing love, care, trust, and understanding, Paul said. He got up and went towards the door. Thanks for inviting me over, it was nice, Paul said. Then as he was about to open the door he turned to Ash. Hey Ash. Yeah, enjoy your vacation. Let's battle again the next time we meet, was the last thing Paul said before walking out and closing the door behind him. I love you so much, Ash, said Serena. I love you too, Serena, said Ash. Later that night, back in Alto Mare. Night had fallen and Bianca was getting ready for bed when Latias walked in the room in her disguise. You should be in bed, you know, Bianca told her friend. During the day the two went shopping in the many shops, had lunch at a restaurant and spent some time at the museum with Bianca's grandfather Lorenzo. I know that, but I couldn't sleep, Latias said in her telepathic voice. You need to sleep, said Bianca sternly as she got herself ready for bed. I know, but I'm just so excited, and you still haven't told me what your surprise is, said Latias. I can't. Sorry, said Bianca as she got in her bed and turned off the light. Please, Latias begged. No, I won't tell you, said Bianca. I'll just read your mind, said Latias. You know that won't work on me. And besides, reading minds is intrusive and rude. Go to bed, said Bianca. Latias pouted as she puffed her cheeks in annoyance. Fine, you're no fun anyway, said Latias as she dropped her disguise and flew out the window to the secret garden. Back on the ship, night had fallen as the others were in Ash and Serena's room eating dinner before bed. Serena had a salad, Bonnie had a junior cheeseburger with fries. Clemont had pasta while Ash had a massive burger with a side of fries. Man, today was awesome, said Ash as he took a bite of his food. I know it wasn't, it'll only get better once we arrive at their destination, said Clemont excited. I can't wait, squeaked Bonnie. I still can't get over how Infernape was treated. Poor dear, said Serena, feeling bad for the flame monkey Pokémon. It's all in the past now, said Ash. I guess you're right, Serena said. After everyone finished dinner, Clemont took Bonnie to bed. Thanks for letting us stay in your room for dinner, I'm going to tuck Bonnie into bed. Good night, you two, said Clemont. Good night, Serena said sweetly. Let's go outside to the bow of the ship before we go to bed, Ash suggested. Okay, said Serena. She and Ash stepped out of their room and went to the bow and put their hands on the railing and looked at the vast expanse of the ocean in front of them. It's such a beautiful night out tonight, said Serena as she looked at the moon and stars in the sky as they shimmered and sparkled ever brightly. Not as beautiful as you, said Ash. Aw, thank you, Ash, that's very sweet of you to say, said Serena. Quote, I can't believe I was so blind back in Kalos, Ash said. Still though, I'm glad we're together now, said Serena. Me too, said Ash. The two looked up at the night sky together, entranced by the clear sky and shimmering stars. The two didn't speak for fear of ruining the moment, but soon Ash broke the silence. I remembered you, you know, Ash said. Then why did you say you forgot? Asked Serena sassily as she pouted. I guess I didn't want to remember you leaving, Ash said. Serena blushed crimson. Ah, Serena cooed. Her boyfriend put his hand around Serena and pulled her closer to him. She snuggled into his neck, feeling content on just snuggling close to him. The two stood there for a time until Ash let out a big yawn. Serena soon yawned after him. Then the honey blonde girl spotted something in the distance. Is that Alto Mare? Serena asked. She squinted her eyes and her smile widened. Ash looked at what Serena was seeing. It was indeed the city of Alto Mare in the distance. Yes. We're almost there, said Ash excitedly. Then he let out another big yawn. We should get ready for bed, Serena said. You're right, said Ash. The two walked back to their room to turn in for the night. Hey, I'm going to get a drink of water. You can get dressed and I'll see you in a moment, Ash said. Okay then, said Serena. She went to her bedroom and proceeded to get dressed in her nightwear. She went to the bathroom to brush her teeth and closed the door behind her. Ash looked over to see Pikachu and Sylveon snuggled close to each other. Sylveon wrapped her ribbons around the electric mouse, holding him close to her as they slept. Quietly he took out his phone and snapped a quick screenshot before putting the phone on the counter. Ash got a glass from the cupboard and filled it with water. After he finished his glass he quietly walked into their bedroom. He took off his shirt and socks and crawled into bed with his girlfriend. The two snuggled close to each other as Serena nuzzled more into Ash's chest. I love you, Serena. I'm glad you're with me. I wouldn't ask for anything more in a friend. Especially if she was the prettiest and cutest girl in the world, Ash said honestly. Serena leaned close and kissed her boyfriend once on the lips in appreciation. I love you so much. Thanks for being the best I could ask for, said Ash. Thanks, and I love you too, Serena said as they kissed. One more time before they fell asleep in each other's arms. Back with Bianca and Lorenzo. Bianca, you should head to the dock. Ash and his friends should be arriving soon, Lorenzo said. Yes, I will head over there now, said Bianca. Does Latias know? Lorenzo asked. Bianca giggled. She did try, but I didn't reveal anything to her, she said. You should get down to the docks. Ash and his friends should be arriving soon, said Lorenzo. That's good, see you later, Bianca said. Arriving at Alto Mare. Ladies and gentlemen were arriving in Alto Mare. Anyone exiting the ship must collect their TNGs and recall their Pokémon before getting off. Thanks for riding with us and we hope to see you again soon, the voice on the intercom said. Everyone soon grabbed their things and walked outside. Ash, Serena, Clemont and Bonnie all got off the dock and onto the main land and looked around. We made it, we made it. We're finally here, said Bonnie excitedly. Yeah, Ash said looking around. Hey didn't you say you met someone here when you visited for the first time? Clemont asked. Ash was about to answer but a voice stopped him from speaking. Ash, said a familiar voice. The others looked over to see a girl with reddish-brown hair running over to them. Soon she stopped and put her hands on her knees as she tried to catch her breath. Hey Bianca, how are you doing these days? Ash asked. When Bianca got her breath back she answered him. Lorenzo and I have been fine since you last visited. Lately things have been pretty calm, said Bianca. That's great to hear, said Ash. Wow, you're a keeper. Won't you take care of my brother s'il vous plaît? Bonnie asked as she extended a hand while on one knee. Keeper. Ash, what is she talking about? Bianca asked as she sweat drew. PPED and looked at the raven-haired boy nervously. Nothing, I'm so sorry. This is embarrassing. Apom arm go, said Clemont as he activated his Apom arm and picked up his sister and began to walk off. While berating her about his embarrassment. It's fine, let me show you to my house. I'm sure you're all tired from your trip here, said Bianca. That would be very nice, Serena said. They all began to walk to her house. At Bianca's house. Grandfather, I'm home and I brought Ash and his friends, said Bianca. Welcome back, Ash. I see you brought your friends. This is my granddaughter Bianca, Lorenzo said. It's very nice to meet you all, Bianca said. Hi, my name is Bonnie. This is Dedenne, said Bonnie. Nay, Dedenne said from his spot in Bonnie's satchel. He's so cute, said Bianca. Thank you. He's a fairy-type Pokémon from the Kalos region where my brother and I are from. Ash competed there in the league, Bonnie said. That's so fascinating, said Bianca. My name is Clemont and it's nice to meet you, said Clemont. It's nice to meet you, Bianca. Any friend of Ash is a friend of mine, said Serena. It's so nice to meet you, said Bianca. You can put your stuff in the guest bedroom. I'll have Bianca blow up an air mattress, said Lorenzo. I'll go do that right now, said Bianca. You can relax in the living room if you want to. I'm sure you're all tired from your trip here, said Lorenzo. So how has Latias been since I left? Asked Ash. She's been doing great actually. She is still her playful and energetic self. Though since you left she was sad after losing her brother, and you leave really got to her, said Bianca. I'm sorry I never came back, I was going to but things kept getting in the way. I'm not good at sitting still for long, said Ash. You're here now so I can surprise her, said Bianca with a grin. I think she'd like that, Ash said with a smirk. You can take Ash and his friends to the garden if you'd like, we got plenty of time before dinner, said Lorenzo. Okay, said Bianca. Soon Serena, Clemont, and Bonnie came back downstairs. Want to go explore the city? Asked Bianca. Sure, that would be wonderful, Serena said happily. I'll show you around. And we'll get lunch before going to the secret garden, said Bianca. Secret garden? Serena asked. Clemont and Bonnie were just as confused. I'll explain when we get there, said Bianca. The others looked at each other and shrugged. Soon they arrived at a restaurant that had things like pasta and fish and walked inside. Hello, how can I help you? A waiter asked. Table for 5 please, said Bianca. Certainly. Follow me, said the waiter. They walked for a bit before they arrived at their table. Here you are. Can I start you off with drinks? Appetizers? He asked. Everyone looked at each other and shrugged. We'll order the bruschetta please, Bianca said. Great, and what can I get you to drink? The waiter asked. I'll have an iced tea please, unsweetened, Serena said. Water is fine, said Clemont. Water for me too, Bianca said. A cola please, said Ash. Water for me please, said Bonnie. Great, we'll have that out for you soon, said the waiter. The 5 of them looked at the menu and decided on what they wanted rather quickly. It wasn't long before their appetizer and drinks came. Here you all are, what would you all like to order? He asked as he took out his notepad. I'll have the fish tacos please, Ash said. I will have the seafood Alfredo, said Bianca. I'll have the Caesar salad please, Serena said. I'll have the breaded chicken salad please, said Bonnie. I'll Avenue a fish sandwich with a side of fries, said Clemont. All right then, we'll bring that out for you, the waiter said before he grabbed their menus and walked away. So care to tell me how you two met? Bianca asked as she took a piece of bruschetta and took a bite. Ash and Serena blushed and looked at each other with happy smiles on their faces. Well, this is how we met, said Serena as she told the story. Flashback to when Ash and Serena were 7 years old. Serena somehow managed to get lost. The trees were big and thick, their leaves blocking out the sun as the tops of the trees casted shadows below. She didn't know where her group was or where they went. It also didn't help that she was scared and alone. Soon the bushes rattled until a pollywag jumped out and scared her. She felt the ground and her knee became grazed and bruised. The pollywag looked at her before jumping away deeper into the forest. I knew I never wanted to come to camp. I knew it, Serena whimpered, too scared to do a thing. Mommy, Serena screamed into the sky above. She heard the bushes rattle and she instinctively wrapped her hands around her legs and backed herself against the tree behind her. Pollywag, Ash called. Pushing aside a bush as he made his way through it, before his attention turned to Serena. The pollywag can wait. Hey, my name's Ash. Who are you? Ash said, introduced himself. Ash noticed the girl's bruised and bloody knee. Her knee wasn't bleeding too bad, but Ash made a mental note to get her checked up just to be sure it wasn't anything too serious. What's wrong? Ash asked in concern. I hurt my leg, Serena said, looking at her knee. Before Ash held out a handkerchief. See this? This will make it all better, Ash said softly. He wrapped the handkerchief gently but firmly on Serena's knee. It's no use. I can't stand up, Serena whined. Watch this, feel better right away, Ash said with his hands moving in a way like he was casting a spell. It still hurts, I can't stand up, Serena protested. Don't give up till it's over, Kay, Ash said, holding out his hand to the girl, who looked at his hand in amazement. She took his hand and Ash pulled her to her feet, It'll too forcefully because the two were close to hugging. Serena pulled back with a, huh. There you go, Ash said with a grin. We should be getting back to the campsite. Come on, Ash said as he led Serena out of the forest, still holding hands. End of Serena's story. Bianca squealed at the adorableness of Ash's story and looked at the two with a wide smile. That's so cute, you're perfect for each other, Bianca said. I know, right? Ash, you were so dense when we traveled together, Bonnie pointed out accusingly. Clemont kicked Bonnie's leg from under the table. Hey, I understood them now and we're together. Leave me out of this, said Ash playfully, a look of mock irritation on his face. Relax Ashy, I'm just messing with you, Serena said as she kissed her boyfriend on the cheek. Thanks, said Ash. 30 minutes later. Here you are, everyone enjoy your meals, said a waitress as she brought them their food. Thank you very much, said Bianca. They all began to eat their food as they talked about what they've done over the years. So Ash, how long are you staying here? Asked Bianca. About a week. I was given time off to support Ash during the Masters 8 tournament, then I'll need to get back to performing in contests, Serena explained. Contests? Bianca asked curiously. I can show you when we get to where we're going after we're done eating, said Serena as she took a bite of her salad. I'd love to see what they look like, said Bianca excitedly. 15 minutes later. Everyone was done eating and paid the bill and left the restaurant, making their way to the secret garden. It didn't take them long to reach their destination. Arriving at the secret garden. Latias, look who I brought, yelled Bianca. There was a sudden rush of wind. Ash, I missed you. Suddenly the red-haired boy was tackled to the ground by something invisible. She knows how to use telepathy, Clemont said in awe. We've been teaching her, said Bianca. Okay Latias, I know you missed me, but can you let me get up? Ash asked. Latias revealed herself to the group and let Ash get up. Sorry, said Latias. She's so cute, Bonnie said. Ash, I'm so happy to see you again. How was your journey? Latias asked. It was great and I was crowned the strongest trainer in the world, Ash said excitedly. That's great, you'll have to tell me how it went, said Latias. Then she noticed Ash's other friends behind him. I'll show you when we get home, said Bianca. Latias, these are my friends Clemont and Bonnie. And this special girl is my girlfriend Serena, Ash said. Serena blushed when he said she was special. Clemont and Bonnie waved. It's nice to meet you Latias, said Clemont. My name is Bonnie, this is Dedenne, Bonnie said. Dedenne greeted the legendary. You're so cute, Bonnie squeaked happy. Why making the red Eon dragon blush in embarrassment? Thanks Latias said, feeling embarrassed by the compliment. So should we get going to my house? Asked Bianca. Sure, but first, mine, Latias said as she took Ash's hat with her mouth and flew off with it. Hey Latias, give me my hat back, said Ash. Bianca giggled as Ash chased the Eon dragon around the garden. Does that happen a lot? Serena asked. She did that when they first met, said Bianca as she and everyone's sweat dropped as they watched Ash try and fail to catch his hat. After about 10 minutes Ash finally got his hat back. Hey Latias, do you want to meet my Pokemon? Ash asked. Sure, Latias said. Come on out everyone, Clemont and Serena said as they threw out their Pokemon. Sylveon, Absol, Delphox, Pancham, Melodic, Bunnelby, Luxray and Chespin all materialized from. Alright everyone, come on out, Ash said. His Pokemon all materialized and looked around. Immediately Houndoom ran up to Ash and tackled him to the ground and gone to lick all over his face affectionately. Ha 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 ha, okay Houndoom, I love you too, but can I get up? Ash asked. His Pokemon all laughed as the Dark and Fire type let his trainer get up. Ash wiped Houndoom's saliva from his face and faced his Pokemon. Everyone, I would like you to meet Latias, Ash said. Hello, Latias said with a happy smile. The Pokemon all greeted her back. 15 minutes later. Everyone had a wonderful time playing in the garden. By then the sun had already began to set and the others decided to go back to Bianca's for dinner. The group returned their Pokemon and began to walk out of the garden. Before they left, Latias went over to the small pool where the Soldew resided. You miss him, don't you? Asked Ash. Yeah, said Latias with a sad smile. What are you looking at? Asked Serena. It's the Soldew, it holds the soul of Latios, said Ash with a sad look on his face as he remembered the somber memory. For a moment no one spoke. Soon Latias decided to break the ice. Can I come with you? Latias asked as she looked at her friend with the sad Growlithe eyes. Bianca nodded. Thank you Bianca, Latias said as she glowed brightly and turned into her human disguise. Let's go, Bianca said as they all walked back to her house. Later. We're back, said Bianca as she walked inside followed by Ash and his friends. Great, you're just in time, dinner is ready, Lorenzo said. Great, I'm starving, Ash said as everyone laughed. Soon the table was set and everyone sat down to eat. "So Ash, how did you and Serena meet?" Lorenzo asked. The two told their story and at the end the elder museum worker smiled. "That's a wonderful story, take good care of each other," Bianca's grandfather said. "We will," Ash said. "So, what's the story of Alto Mare?" asked Bonnie curiously. Serena, Clemont, and Bonnie gaze in wonder at the intricate stained glass windows depicting a majestic Latios and Latius. Bianca, ever the patient guide, stands before them, a gentle smile on her face. "Alto Mare wasn't always a city of canals, you know," Bianca begins, her voice soft but filled with the weight of generations of stories. "Really?" Bonnie asks, her eyes wide with curiosity, Didene peeking out from her satchel. "It's so beautiful with all the water." "Indeed," Clemont adds, adjusting his glasses. "The engineering involved in creating such a system is quite impressive." Bianca chuckles lightly. "Well, that's where the legend begins. Many years ago, our town was quite different. It was a bustling place, much like any other, but without the canals." "And then what happened?" Serena asks, captivated, her gaze shifting from the windows to Bianca's face. "An evil Pokémon trainer, filled with malice, descended upon our town, accompanied by his terrifying Kabutops and Aerodactyl," Bianca recounts. A shadow of seriousness crossing her features. "The town was in great peril, the people fearing for their lives." "Oh no!" Bonnie exclaims, clutching Didene tighter. "But just when all seemed lost," Bianca continues, her voice regaining its warmth, "a powerful and brave Latios appeared." "A Latios?" Clemont marvels. "That's incredible." "Yes," Bianca affirms, "with incredible strength and determination. This Latios transformed our very streets into the canals you see today. The rushing water defended the town, repelling the invaders and saving everyone." "Wow," Bonnie breathes. "But," Bianca's smile softens, "such a heroic act came at a cost. The Latios sacrificed itself to protect us. Its soul, imbued with its power and spirit, transformed into the Soul Dew, the Precious jewel that is the heart of Alto Mare, and a symbol of its sacrifice." Bianca gestures towards a display case where the radiant Soul Dew rests, bathed in the soft glow of the setting sun filtering through the museum's skylights. "And that's why Latius and Latios are revered as the city's guardians," Serena concludes, a sense of awe in her voice. "Exactly," Bianca agrees. "They continue to watch over us. And it is our family's honor to help protect them and the Soul Dew, ensuring Alto Mare's peace." Clemont nods thoughtfully, a beautiful story, steeped in history and the bond between Pokémon and people. "It's hard to believe this city was almost destroyed," Clemont remarked, watching the sun set over the horizon. "It really was a terrifying day," Bianca agreed, a shiver running down her spine despite the warm sunlight. "But Ash, Misty, and Brock were so incredibly brave." Bianca closed her eyes, and the serene scene around them rippled, giving way to a chaotic memory. Flashback, when Ash, Misty and Brock visited Alto Mare for the first time. The beautiful canals of Alto Mare churned with muddy water as the DMA, hijacked by Annie and Oakley, went berserk. Buildings crumbled, threatening to collapse into the vanishing waterways. Ash, Misty, and Brock stood on a shaking bridge, a desperate determination etched on their faces. "This is insane," Misty yelled over the roar of the DMA. With her Politoed ready for battle. "We have to stop this." "But how?" Brock shouted back, his forehead beaded with sweat. "That machine's unstoppable." Suddenly, a flicker of red and white zipped past them, Latius. Followed closely by Ash's Pikachu. Ash, without hesitation, jumped onto the back of Latius, a determined gleam in his eyes. "Latius, lead the way." Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Pikachu, perched on Latius's head, let loose a powerful electrical surge, attempting to short-circuit the enormous machine. The bolts crackled against the metal behemoth, but it barely flinched. Meanwhile, Annie and Oakley, hidden within the DMA's control room, cackled with glee as they unleashed their resurrected fossil Pokémon, a Kabutops and an Aerodactyl. "Go, Espeon, Ariados," Oakley commanded, sending out her own Pokémon to intercept Ash and Latius. Misty and Brock, seeing the danger, didn't hesitate. "Staryu, Water Gun." Politoed, Bubble Beam. Misty commanded, with her water-type Pokémon, launching a barrage of attacks at the ancient creatures. Brock's Foroseed and Geodude joined the fray. Forretress, Tackle. Geodude, rock throw, he yelled, adding his Pokémon to the growing battle against Annie and Oakley's resurrected forces. Ash and Latias pressed forward, dodging attacks as they raced towards the heart of the DMA. They could see Latios, trapped and weakened, providing the energy for the destructive machine. The Soul Dew, now shimmering with a dark, unstable energy, pulsed ominously nearby. We're almost there, Latias. Ash grunted, holding on tight as Latias swerved to avoid Espeon's psychic attack. Finally, they burst into the DMA's core chamber. With Latias's help, Ash managed to deactivate the machine, freeing Latios and stopping its rampage. A wave of relief washed over them, but it was short-lived. The unstable Soul Dew, its energy now uncontrolled, shattered with a blinding flash. A colossal tsunami erupted, threatening to engulf Alto Mare completely. Latias, exhausted but determined, joined forces with the weakened Latios, erecting a desperate psychic barrier against the monstrous wave. But Latios, already drained, couldn't withstand the surge. No, Latios! Ash cried out as the noble Pokémon sacrificed himself, transforming into a new Soul Dew, his spirit radiating pure, calming energy. The tsunami receded, and Alto Mare was saved, but at a heart-wrenching cost. Flashback end. And that's how it happened, Bianca said, opening her eyes, the vivid memory still fresh in her mind. Latios, Ash, Misty, and Brock, they saved us all. Bianca looked, and saw Latias in tears while Ash comforted her. Serena saw this and felt bad for the Eon Dragon Pokémon, so she let Ash do his thing. He knew what Latias was feeling more than she did anyway. Clemont was holding Bonnie in his arms as she cried into his blue jumpsuit. I'm sorry that happened, Latias, said Bonnie as she looked at the legendary in disguise as Latias looked up at Bonnie and sniffed. It's all right, Bonnie. I appreciate it, said Latias. She looked up at Ash and smiled at him. Thank you, Ash, Latias said as she nuzzled into Ash's shoulder. You're welcome, I have something to confess, said Ash. Latias looked at him confused. What do you mean? Latias asked. I had to tell Serena about what happened the first time I arrived here with Misty and Brock. We were talking about what we'd do. Oh, when we arrived here and those memories came up. I knew I couldn't keep this from her, because we promised we wouldn't keep things from each other, said Ash. I understand, thanks for respecting my privacy and not telling Clemont and Bonnie. I don't mind if your mate knows what happened. Latias said. So how long do you plan on staying here? Lorenzo asked. Only a few days, Serena needs to get back to her performances in Hoenn, said Ash. Okay then. Later that night, everyone was getting ready for bed and crawled in. Bianca turned off the light when Latias walked in the room. I can't wait for tomorrow. Latias said. So you can spend more time together? Bianca asked as she giggled. Ash said he was visiting for a few days, so I'm going to make them the best he's ever had, said Latias. I see. And wait, Bianca said as she got comfy in bed and closed her eyes. You should head back to the garden. We'll meet up for breakfast tomorrow. How does that sound? Bianca asked. That sounds wonderful, Latias said. The young Eon transformed into her Pokémon form and flew out the window towards the garden while trilling to herself. Bianca laughed and closed the window before climbing back into bed and closing her eyes. The next day, everyone was awake and Lorenzo was in the middle of making breakfast when they all walked down the stairs. Good morning everyone, I hope everyone slept well, said Lorenzo as he flipped over some pancakes and bacon. We slept fine, said Bonnie cheerfully. I slept really well, thanks for asking, said Clemont. I slept like a log, said Ash. Best sleep I've had in a long time, Serena said. I feel the same, said Ash as he stretched his arms. Is it because you had Ash as a pillow? Bonnie asked cheekily. Both Ash and Serena blushed brightly at that remark. Yes, she squeaked in embarrassment. Breakfast is served everyone, dig in, said Lorenzo. All right, I'm starving, said Ash. Everyone laughed. As everyone began to eat, they all began talking about what they would do for the day. So what's the plan? Asked Bianca. I thought about doing some shopping here for souvenirs and maybe some new dresses for my contests, said Serena. Can I come too? Asked Bonnie. Sure, Bonnie. We could all go as a group, said Ash. Ash, you never go shopping with us, Bonnie pointed out. Yeah, well, Serena rubbed off on me and I'll do anything with her if it makes her happy, said Ash. Thank you, Sweetie, said Serena as she gently kissed her boyfriend's cheek. After breakfast. Well, we got the whole day ahead of us, let's not waste it by standing here, let's get moving, said Ash. Right, the group said as they started walking to the stores in the city. On the way they picked up Latias, who was more than willing to join them, partly because she got to spend time with Ash and she wasn't going to pass that up, not in a million years. They finished shopping and headed back to Bianca's house. Ash got some new clothes and surprisingly he also found a mega anklet in the style of a chain with a slot in the middle that was in the shape of a skull that could hold a keystone, and needless to say Ash wasn't passing that up. Serena got some new dresses for her contests, Bianca didn't get much. Just some more painting supplies and more canvases for her paintings, and Latias was there for the ride. After they got done shopping they all went to a nearby restaurant for lunch before walking back to Bianca's house. Later that night, the group finished eating dinner just as the sun set and everyone got ready for bed, when Lorenzo walked up to Ash and his friends. Hey Ash, wait right there. I have something for you, said Lorenzo. Okay, said Ash in confusion. He and his friends watched as he walked into his shop. What does he have for you, Ash? Asked Serena. I have no idea, said Ash. I hope it's something awesome, said Bonnie. I have no idea what it could be either, said Clemont. Soon Lorenzo came back with a box in his hand. Ash, I want you to have this, said Lorenzo. He opened the box and everyone's eyes widened in shock and disbelief as they recognized the item instantly as a houndumanite. Is that a mega stone? Asked Clemont in disbelief. It is, and I want you to have it. You've done this city a great kindness and I want you to have it. Besides, I think you'll get more use out of it than I would, said Lorenzo. Gee Lorenzo, thank you very much. Said Ash as he handed the stone over to Serena. I'll take that, thank you. Arceus knows what would happen if you lost it, said Serena jokingly as she put it in her bag. Wow Ash, I'm so jealous of you, you got a mega stone. Now all you need is a keystone from Karina and you're all set, said Clemont. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool, thank you Lorenzo, I will put this to good use, said Ash. I have no doubt you will. You have a good heart, said Lorenzo. The group nodded before Bonnie let out a yawn. Hey, I'm going to take Bonnie to bed. Good night Ash, Serena and Bianca, said Clemont. Good night. Everyone said in unison as Clemont walked upstairs with Bonnie. So what are you gonna do now that you've got a keystone? Asked Serena. I'll call Karina tomorrow and tell her I got another keystone. I'll have to make a spot for the keystone though, Ash said. Any ideas on what you want it to be? Serena asked, but then she yawned. I was thinking a hat pin for the keystone and a mega helm. Or anklet for Houndoom, Ash said as Pikachu and Serena walked upstairs to the guest bedroom. They entered the room and got into bed. I love you Ash, this has been an amazing trip, thanks for inviting us, said Serena. Serena, you know I would have invited you regardless, just like I did back in Kalos, said Ash. Serena got closer and nuzzled her head into Ash's chest as he wrapped his arms around her. Thank you Ash. I love you, said Serena. I love you too Serena, and I always will, Ash said as the two closed their eyes. Good night Pikachu, Serena said. Pikachu curled up at the foot of the bed as he snored lightly. Already fast asleep. A few days later, Ash, Pikachu, Serena, Clemont, Bonnie, and Dedenne were waiting for the ship to arrive so they could get home. The boat pulled up just as the sun was about to set. The boat lowered the stairs and as they were about to get on board they heard a voice. Hey Ash, I got something for you, said a voice. Ash could easily identify it as Latias. They looked over to see Latias followed by Bianca and Lorenzo approaching the group with something under her arm. What is it Latias? Ash asked. Here you go, this was something that I made myself, said Latias. Thanks, said Ash as he put the painting under his arm. It was great getting to meet you Clemont, Bonnie and Serena. Feel free to visit us any time, said Latias telepathically with a smile. Then she leaned closer and kissed Ash on the cheek like she did when Misty and Broke left Alto Mare. Bye, Ash, Serena, Clemont and Bonnie, come and visit again sometime, Bianca yelled. We will. Bye, everyone said as they waved as the boat slowly pulled away from the dock. Latias, Bianca and Lorenzo all waved goodbye as the boat sailed further and further away. Latias then sent one Saint telepathic message to the one person who once saved her life on that dreadful day her brother passed on to the afterlife. I love you Ash, take good care of your mate. Even if you don't share my fee. Lings, I just want you to know that I love you and I always will. Later. The others were in their rooms as Ash, Serena, Clemont and Bonnie gathered around Ash so they could look at the painting. So what does the painting look like? Asked Bonnie. I don't know, let's see, said Ash. He unfolded the painting and they all gasped in amazement. The painting depicted Ash and Serena kissing with Latias L. Ooking down at them while flying overhead with a happy look on her face. It's so cute, said Bonnie. And it's well made too. Guess Latias wasn't lying when she said she could paint, said Clemont in awe. She is. She gave me a painting of me and Pikachu after we left after that fiasco with those rocket agents, Ash said, his words dripping with venom at that last part. My mom had it framed and it hangs on my bedroom wall, Ash said. He took out Houndoom's Pokeball and released him in a bright flash. Once he materialized he looked around in confusion before turning to Ash and his friends. Houndoom barked out, what do you need Ash? His voice was filled with curiosity. Look buddy, I got this for you, said Ash. The dark Pokemon only got more confused until Serena knelt down and showed him a small circular stone with black and orange markings. It was a Houndoomanite and the dark Pokemon's eyes widened in shock and he tackled his trainer to the ground and began to happily lick all over his trainer's face. Ha 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 ha, I'm glad you like it buddy, soon you can Mega Evolve. You've made me very proud and I'm glad to have you on the team, Ash said. The dark Pokemon walked calmly to his trainer and nuzzled his head against his trainer's cheek affectionately. Ash pulled his dog Pokemon into an embrace, one that the dark type tried to return but was hindered by his anatomy. He instead nuzzled his head into his trainer's chest, though careful to avoid accidentally hurting him with the horns on his head. Ash soon returned him to his ball and stood back up. Later that night, as the boat continued to sail back to Kanto, the two lovers looked out at the vast ocean and the stars overhead. The two wrapped their arms around each other in a loving embrace before pulling away. I love you Serena, said Ash as he looked into his girlfriend's bright azure blue eyes. I love you too Ash, said Serena as they leaned in and kissed. After a minute the two pulled back. Will you follow me as I compete in contests to achieve my dream? Asked Serena in a gentle voice. Always Serena, until the end, said Ash. The two looked up at the stars with love and hope in their hearts. Nothing would ever separate them again. As the ship continued its course to Kanto, Ash and Serena knew that as long as they had each other nothing would stop them, not until the very end. Thanks for watching guys. Hope you all are enjoyed this video. If you do, please leave a like, share and subscribe. Also don't forget to support author of this fanfic. So let's end this video here. Until then, see you in next video.